I think everything's set up. The lights are on. Everything's recording. The questions are in front of me. I think we're good to go. Good evening everybody and welcome. My name's RichyVida. Thank you very much for being here. Well, this is the first time I've done a Q&A in all these years of entertaining you fine people. On my last video I asked you to send in your questions and they've come in thick and fast. There's over 100. I'm not going to get a chance to go through them all, but I'm going to try my best. We're just going to sit here. I'm going to flick through the laptop here and read out the questions and your name, and let's just crack on, shall we, and get into it. I'm quite looking forward to this. First for everything in all these years. And I will be doing a live one at some point. We've got gigabit fibre being fitted tomorrow. So we'll have super quick internet and I'll be able to do live streams with ease. Should be. Anyway, let's crack on, shall we? Right, let's jump into the computer. Pops up on the screen right now. I'm going to go through these questions and... yeah, I've not read any of them yet, so we'll see. Hinkley Hammer. Hi Richie, you mentioned that the V-Strom needed cleaning. So I would like to ask you about how you go about this, both in terms of cleaning agents used and the process technique deployed, power washer, etc. Okay, this is an easy one really. So the products that I use for the bikes, as you can see, one bike is absolutely spotless and the other one is absolutely ditched. I actually gave this its first deep clean the other day, and then yesterday I decided to go out in the rain and went through just so many dirty, horrible lanes, and now it's absolutely ditched again, like I've not even started it, so I wished I'd not bothered. And like I say, that's the first deep clean it's had since I've had it. Right, so I've got the 2-bucket thing. I am a little bit lazy, I will say. I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to this. I've got a Karcher pressure washer that's variable. So I first start it off on the lowest and just give everything a rinse over. And then I spray like a shampoo all over it. Rinse that off again with a power wash. And then I snow foam and I leave that on for probably 10 minutes. And whilst that's on and cooking, I'll get the other things ready, the other buckets ready, with some shampoo in one and clean water in the other. And I've got a couple of really nice mitts. They're over there behind me, but I can't show you at the moment. I will say the best stuff I've had is from a company called Autobrite. And these, as you'll have known, because I've not shown anything on the channel about them, I've been using their stuff for probably 2 years, maybe a bit more. I have never once been asked by said company to promote them, to show my viewers anything at all, but I use their products, they send me their products and they're amazing. So I guess I'm kind of telling you about it now, but even to this day I've still never been asked, not one time, to show you guys their product. If that doesn't say a lot about a product, then I don't know what. So yeah, a company called Autobrite. I'll put a link in the description down below. They do some amazing stuff, from your deep cleans, your snow foams, your even ceramics. They're really good. So that's how I go about cleaning it. And then, once I've jet washed it all off, once I've done the, I've got the brushes. I use a little brushes for, underneath and getting in all the nooks and crannies with like a citrus wash that I'll spray on. So it kind of digs in nice and deep. But they're just really gentle brushes, and I just give them like just to agitate them quite a bit. And then, pressure wash it all off. And then once I've pressure washed it off, I'll then get the pet dryer and blow all the water off, and then bring it back in the garage. When it's dry, I will go over with a post-wash quick detailer, spray it all over, and then just wipe it off with a really clean, nice microfiber. And the bikes are like brand new. They're brilliant. That's took me ages to answer that one. So Hinkley Hammer, thank you very much for that one. And thank you to Autobrite for sending me their products. And also, thank you very much for never asking me one time to say anything about your products. Right, move on. Wilkie777, top 3 to 5 things you look for when in the planning stages and look to include for your big rides, the essentials you can't miss out on. For planning trips, I will assume. Okay, top 3 to 5 things you look for when in the planning stages. Okay, well, once I've settled on a place that I'm going to go to, I'll start researching that place and get a list of POIs, points of interest, and I'll just write these down in any old order as I come across them. And then I will then import those POIs into Google Maps, so I can see where they are geographically speaking, and then I'll move them around in terms of order to create a route. And then I'll have Google Maps on one monitor. I have 2 monitors at home. I have one that's portrait, that's, if it's this way around, I've got one that's portrait and one that's landscape. So this one's for doing the main editing, and this one's for all the like plugins and effects and all that kind of stuff, so I can see and move them across. So when I'm doing the mapping, this one is full screen Google Maps, so I can do Street View and look at the actual map as a whole. And then this one will be either Kalimoto or My Route app. I kind of reference next to, I'll get the main plan on Google Maps, and then I'll import that loosely into Kalimoto or My Route app just to see what their algorithm does in terms of routing. And then between the 3 setups, I'll settle on a final one and then import it into my Zumo XT, and good to go. Or if I'm on a different bike, the XT stays on the Africa Twin. On the V-Strom I've got an iPhone that I use just for this bike, an iPhone X, and I have Kalimoto or My Route app on that one. And that's the main ways I do the routes. But really, for the things I look for is, you want decent roads, don't you? I definitely don't want motorways. I definitely don't want fast roads. I just want twisty roads. So again, once you're blowing it up on the map, you can see the roads. And if they're looking like this, then you know they're going to be bloody good. Thank you very much, Wilkie. Next one. Yam Ventures. Hi, Rich. Could you go through the green laning in the UK? I've been starting on my journey, but I'm finding a nightmare for legal lanes, and the information I can find is outdated. Right, the best advice I can give you here, Yam Ventures, Mr. Yam Ventures, is join the GLAS, Green Lane Association. Once you've joined there, I can't remember exactly, but I think it's about 50 quid a year. You get newsletters and all that kind of stuff. Not that I'm that interested in that, but you do get access to an app called Trailwise. Trailwise 2, I think it is, and that shows you an up-to-date, right now, map of all the legal lanes around it, wherever you are. So basically, open up the map wherever you are. If you see a lane, open up the map, and there'll be blue lines and red lines, like squiggly lines, all over the place. And if there's no warnings of any description on each one of those, then they're legal. Some will have a warning saying it's now impassable, it's been blocked, you're not allowed to use it anymore, which you should observe, obviously. But some will just say, it'll just be a warning, like, just be careful of the right-hand side on this bit because of blah, blah, blah. But they are up to date and fully legal. If it says it's legal, you're completely fine. Trailwise 2 through GLAS, Green Lane Association. I would join up with them, and the world's your oyster. You've got millions of them. When I say millions of them, they are all over the UK, plastered all over, apart from Scotland. It's funny because from the bottom to the top to the Scottish border, it's just thick red and blue squiggles everywhere. As soon as you get to Scotland, nothing, because obviously it's illegal in Scotland. So unless someone out there can point me in a different direction and tell me otherwise about Scotland, because there must be so many stunning lanes up there, but I'm not allowed to ride them. Anyway, that's that. Yam Ventures, thank you very much. User TX8BM4W. Will there be any more trips with Egon and Gaz? They both seem to have dropped off the radar. Gaz hasn't dropped off the radar. He's just very busy with work. And Egon, of course, isn't allowed anymore. We'll gloss over that one. Fly no trancer? Flick no trancer? Yes, USA Tour, where and when? 1250 GSA in Northern Nevada. Is that where you are? Is that where you are, Northern Nevada? Oh. Tell me about it. USA Tour, where and when? Well, yes, we are going back. I'll talk more about this in a bit. Birchwood Biker. Got to say, competition, you and TMF, who channel is better? Michael Fudge. Hey Richie, looking forward to 2024. What's next for the channel and yourself? More touring, reviewing of bikes and kit? Yes, much of the same, I think, at the moment. Mr. Fudge. Bike Madden. Who's your favourite, Egon or Gaz? Well, I can't remember what Egon looks like. And Gaz is family, so I guess it'll have to be Gaz. Dale Wintle. How are you doing, Dale? I'm about 50 mile down the road from you, Rich, surrounded Derbyshire, North Wales, Staffordshire, Moorlands and Cheshire countryside. Never a dull ride. That's true. Question, what or who got you interested in music, playing, singing, etc.? Keep up the great work, bud. Thank you very much. Who got me interested in it? A funny little story. So, growing up, my dad was always a massive country and Elvis fan. My mum was always a massive Beatles fan. And my mum sadly passed away when she was very young, as was I. Massive Beatles fan, but never got a chance to visit even Liverpool. So music was always in the family. And my older brother was having guitar lessons. And I always remember, I was too young, but I always remember whenever he went out, I'd go and get his. I'd watch him walk down the road, and then I'd get his guitar out and just teach myself how to play it. And that's pretty much how I did all of it. You know, my head teacher at the primary school used to let me sit in the hall after school had finished on the piano. We had a bit of a agreement with the lollipop lady. I could see through the window. What felt like probably an hour every night was most probably 15 minutes, but we'd all agreed that she'd let me, the teacher had let me sit and play the piano by myself in the empty hall. Couldn't play it, but I was figuring it out. And I had to keep my eye on the lollipop lady. As soon as she waved to let me know she'd finished, or she was tired and wanted to go home, I had to stop. So I did that probably every single night for, well, I don't know, a long time. And yeah, I've got a good ear, so I can just play anything really. It takes me minutes to learn a song, and it's just in ear. So yeah, but and as it turned out, then, you know, fast forward, I've since played at the Cavern with my band in Liverpool twice. So, you know, the first time we played there, my dad in the audience. You know, it was a special moment. You did it for my mum, kind of thing, you know. It was very special, actually. It was quite hard to get through that one, actually. But yeah, I did it, and that's it. And mum never got to see it, you know. So, and then I've since been off and played in Nashville. So, you know, you get your experiences and your influences from the people around you, don't you? So, yeah, like I say, even though my dad didn't play, my mum didn't play, I didn't know anybody in the family that played. I think my granddad played, but I can't remember him doing so. Yeah, and just figured it out for myself, and now it's firmly in here. I love music more than anything in the world, apart from my daughter. Next one. Thank you, Dale. Next time in Ireland, I don't know. Having a friend over there really helps, so we'll probably be over next year at some point, popping up here and there. Hopefully there'll be finding no dead children in the back of the car, or whatever it was that Graham saw, or thought he saw. Cold Feet, hey Richie, I've bought a GoPro 360 Max. Have I bought the wrong camera for vlogging? Cheers, Mick. Great camera, Mick, but yes, I think you may have bought the wrong camera for vlogging, because it's a 360 camera, and there's a lot of work that goes in to a 360 camera. I have the Insta 360 that I've started using a lot for the front of the bike pointing back at me, because you can do a lot with it. You can turn it around and do whatever you want, but as your main vlogging camera, really, you want something that you can just stick on, like a GoPro, and just press go, and it films whatever you're looking at. You know, excuse me, it's just easy. Because when it comes to editing afterwards, it's already going to be hard work editing, so you want it to be as easy as possible. I think, well, I know that I couldn't use my 360 camera as a full vlogging camera. It's bloody cold in here. I've even got a heater at the side of me. Yeah, I couldn't use that as a vlogging camera, because it'd just be too much work, especially if you're riding all day long and doing the kind of things, which I assume you are, being here as a rider. So, yeah, you want really just a... The Hero 12 has just been brought out. I don't actually have the 12. I've still got the 8 that I use on my helmet, and I've got a 9, which is this one. So I'm a bit behind, really, in terms of, you know, the latest cameras, but these do a great job, so I don't need to replace them yet. And I'm actually filming this off my iPhone. So iPhone 15 Pro. Brilliant. Brilliant for doing this thing. Brian Cox, do you ever sit back and look at what you've achieved as a dad, husband, musician, YouTuber and think, yeah, I did okay. Looking forward to finally meeting you this Sunday. Oh, thanks, Brian. Yeah, we're having a group ride this Sunday. And I'm looking forward to meeting a load of people, so should be a load of people there. I don't know, Brian, to be honest, mate. There's still a load that I want to do. Like, there's a load that I want to do, and I'm nowhere near where 20 years ago, I'm nowhere near now where I thought I were going to be 20 years ago. But I guess that's how the cookie crumbles, eh? So, yeah, I'm still nowhere near fulfilled in my, aspirations. Quite the opposite, actually. So, I crack on. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. That's it. Sue OP. Hi, Sue. So when are you, Teapot, and Mr. Fish going to get together again? Loved the first adventure so much. Think it's time for another. Thanks, my friend. It is time for another. And we did have one loosely planned in October just gone. To do a rerun, not a rerun, but a 2.0 of the Big Little Adventure. But I let the boys down. Sorry, boys, sorry. I was offered a family holiday to Egypt, as it turns out. I wished I'd not gone there, so I'm crapping myself the whole time I was there. We'll gloss over that because I don't want to turn it into a political thing, but it's obviously unspeakable, despicable what's happening at the moment. Yes, we will definitely do one. When, I don't know. We need to try and pinch some little bikes and get a silly idea ahead and see what we can come up with. Michael McLaughlin. Watching in Cape Town. Ooh, weather is about 25 degrees. When are you coming down to ride the Western Cape? Cheap as chips for the English and roads and scenery to die for. Ooh, I would bloody love to. I've actually may have something in the pipeline loosely for South Africa. But we'll cross that bridge if and when we come to it. Watch this space for that one. RE Motorcycle. Your helmet audio is never distorted. What mic is used and are there any tricks that we can't see? I'd love to get my helmet audio better. Yeah, this is it's been a bane of my life, really, to be honest. The mic I use now is the Rode Lav Go. Rode Lav Go, pronounced Rode. And it's about 50 quid, I think. And I've probably spent... I know you can get lav mics for £2. I've spent so much money on lav mics getting the right sound, but really it's not down to the mic, it's down to there's so many things, so many factors. The lid, I personally think it sounds crap inside my RI Tour X4. If I've got the visor up, it sounds really nice and crisp and clear. When the visor's down, it sounds too much like this and I just don't like it. So I have to do a lot of post-production work with the audio. What I do on all my videos is at the very end, once I've finished all the editing, I've done all the colour correction and all that kind of stuff, when it comes to the audio, I will always first of all EQ the audio to get rid of all the bottom end that no one can hear anyway. So we'll put a low pass filter on all that, get rid of all that, and then I will brighten the tops a little bit so it brings it more shiny again from the top, and then I'll put a compressor on after that. So to bring all the quiet bits up to the noisy bits and the noisy bits down to the quieter bits. So it kind of meets in the middle, gives it a nice flat line. And then after that, I will put a limiter on to bring the correct volumes up where they need to be, which is around about 0 dB. That's what I do all the time. The placement has got a lot to do with it. It's just, it's not the be all and end all. But it's got to be good at source, really, for it to be any good afterwards. But then, of course, now in software... There's something on the DaVinci Resolve software that I use now called voice isolation, and it's just you press a button and it gets rid of everything other than the voice. So AI, I could get it. I could have a kitchen in the background here with pots and pans rattling and banging and blah, 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 and I could press this button and it would all disappear, like I'm sitting here talking to you like I am now. I've started putting that on actually on the main helmet camera, but I'll bring it down to like 10%, 8%, so it's barely doing anything, but it's just bringing the voice up and the ambient sounds down a bit, so you're concentrating more on the voice than listening to all kinds of stuff going off. But anyway, I did do a video quite a while ago showing just how good it was. I mean, I was flying down the straight road, it was already noisy, I picked my visor up just to do the test to show you. So I'll probably do, I don't know, 60 odd mile an hour down this straight lane, visor up, windy as hell, press the button and it just sounded like I'm talking to you now. It's brilliant. And then you get software that can do this. Right, listen to this. You can hear the wind behind me, of course you can. I'm going to lift my visor up, as you can see. So it's going to be even noisier. And I'm just going to press a button within the software. 3, 2, 1, gone. And I'm going to keep talking to you. Nothing's changed, as you can see. My eyes are still being blown all over the shop. This is at 100%. And now I wouldn't keep it at 100% because I like to still be able to hear some ambience and the bike and the, you know, a little bit of wind. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to drop that down to 20%. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. So it's now at 20%. So you should now be able to hear the ambient sounds, but still be able to hear my voice sitting on the top of all that. As clear as anything. Just to show that all its glory, I'm going to turn the whole thing off again. 3, 2, 1, bang. Right, now this is what you were listening to before I showed you that little trick. Is that unbelievable or what? So yeah, the Rode Lav Go, or Royd Lav Go, is the one I'm using at the moment. Thank you. Harry Palmer. I'm hoping you can answer a question which has puzzled me for years. What was thrown off of the Tallahatchie Bridge up on Choctaw Ridge by the girl and Billy Joe? Oh, that's a brilliant... When I did say, you know, you can send the daft questions in, I think that falls into that category. Indeed, what was it that they threw? Something. I'm just trying to think of the song in my head now. Tallahatchie, Choctaw Ridge, Billy Joe McAllister jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. And also, can you tell me why there is no umlaut on the word umlaut? That's an interesting one. I do like a good umlaut. Bob Holly. Okay, here we go. Spoked wheels versus alloy and 21 versus 19. Which is the absolute best for 50-50 adventure touring? Or does it really matter? 21 definitely. That does make a big difference for adventure riding. When you're off-roading, makes a big difference. Really big difference. And I think you either are or aren't a fan of the 21. I speak to people that hate riding 21 on the road, and I speak to people that love riding the 21 on the road. I personally love, both of these bikes have 21s on the front, and I absolutely love road riding with the 21. Love it. And, you know, doesn't hold me back in any way whatsoever. Neither do the 50-50 adventure tyres. I think I've become more confident on a knobbly tyre than I have on a road tyre. And that's on the road as well. So, does it really matter? Off-roading, definitely. There'd be an argument road riding with the 19 and the 21, but personally, I do prefer spoked 21s. Thank you. Chris Dauber, where's he gone? He'll be sat at home now, wanting to read this or watch this, and she won't be letting him. He'll be going, no! And she'll be going, and she'll be going like this to him. You sit down, like he's a dog. Anyway, kind of in jest. 24 Charlie, how are we doing, 24 Charlie? Hey Richie, have you done the trail near the Cat and Fiddle coming from Macclesfield Pass? Coming from Macclesfield, past the Cat and Fiddle on the left hand side, 500 yards down there's a road off to the left. Yes, that's Derbyshire Bridge. That leads to a track after a building. I did it on my GSA and was absolutely crapping it, but I couldn't turn around as I was committed. Yes, and it's quite steep if I remember, mate. Try it, I dare you. Yes, I have done it. Actually, I did that on the Big Lad when I first made the transition to owning the Big Lad. So did everything on it before I owned it, and then did the deal with Honda, bought it, had some nice new chunky tyres put on it, and I went down that trail for the first time ever, and I too crapped it. But I didn't come off, everything were all right. And yeah, I've done it quite a bit now. It's quite steep, but it's a good one. It's quite rocky, very rocky actually. It's a good one. It's a good one to do. But yeah, you know, as much as I love off-roading on these big boys and the GSA, they're big, aren't they? They're big and heavy, and it just makes, even though they're completely capable, it makes it bloody hard work. So I would love to do it on a lighter bike, definitely. But It's doable. Paul Rogers, hey Richie, enjoying all your videos, brilliant. I have a GSA 1200 Rally. Also do landscape photography. Question is, what DSLR and kit do you use? Ah, nice one, Paul. DSLR's here actually. It's the Nikon D750. You can see that there. And I've got the Tamron 24-70 lens on at the moment. That's my main setup for the bike. I've got the Nikon or Nikkor 70-200 lens, which is absolutely beautiful, as I'm sure you'll know yourself. But it's obviously a big old beast and it weighs a ton, but the photos are so sharp and so good. And I've also got a nifty 50 1.8 f1.8 Nikkor lens, which again, cheap as chips, that lens, but should be in everybody's bag. I love the aperture at 1.8. It's fantastic to shoot with. D750, it's obviously an old camera now. I love it to bits. Weighs a lump, but yeah, I love it. Love it to bits. Andrew Van Staden. Hi, Andrew from South Africa. Currently 37 degrees and not going outside. Maiden biker. As you love these adventure bikes, I know you have a family, but if you could, would you do a round the world trip? If so, what countries would you go through? If I didn't have a family, I would be off. Like, I just wouldn't. I'd be able to take my work with me now, so I would be off. Where, I don't know, but I would be off into some darkest corner of the world somewhere, definitely. Creating stuff for you fine people. Rebecca, did you ever get a CRF 300? Or any other light green laner for that matter? Cheers from Sweden. Thank you. No, I didn't get one. I tried to blag the one that I had on loan off Honda, but at the time it was very much sought after, so there was a big waiting list for it after me. So I tried to blag it as a long-term loaner, but it didn't happen. And I actually should have just been having, I'm a bit disgruntled about this actually, it should have been here now actually, the new Covey 450 Rally, which looks brilliant. I was approached, I've been chatting with the guy from this company for a while. It was supposed to be delivered round about now for a month. So I've been kind of like chasing him, saying, what's happening? What's happening with the dates? And then he got back to me the other day. Well, I'll be transparent with you. Got back to me the other day and he said, after telling me that my bike would be coming in early November, we've got a bike coming in mid-December that's set aside for our sponsored rider. We should have something coming in spring. So I just sent him a message back saying, don't bother. Thanks very much for wasting my time. But I'm yeah, quite looking forward to riding that, the Covey 450 Rally. And yes, I would love to have a little green laner. Definitely. One that you can throw around a bit and you don't really have to worry if it does fall over. Because, you know, I'd hate to drop these because it gets expensive, doesn't it? Thank you for sending that in from Sweden. MRF 150. MRF R150. Lovely intro to this video, really nice. You've probably been, thank you very much. You've probably been asked many times before, but what was it that got you into motorcycling? And one more, if you're able, what is the single best thing about motorcycling or motorcycle riding for you? I'll go with the latter first. The single best thing for me is the freedom. It's just magic. It's therapy. It's therapy, and it does you the world of good, regardless of where you're going, where you are, how things are in your life. Once you are out on a bike, it just doesn't matter. Just doesn't matter. I do get stressed. Sometimes I'll just go out on the bike, absolutely no idea where I'm going. 9 times out of 10, I'll strap a camera on and try and turn a video out of it. I'll go out feeling like, but I'll come back feeling completely relaxed. It's just therapy for me, and that's the single best thing about it for me. Just getting off, out, regardless of where you're going, how long it's going to take you to get there. Just being with the bike and, you know, the fresh air. Obviously even better when you can go to fancy places. What was it that got you into motorcycling? Well, I grew up on bikes. I started as, bloody hell, how old was I? 8, 9, something like that. My first ever bike was a Honda 70, Cub 70, and my older brother had the 90, and I wouldn't dare ride his 90 because of the power increase. So I cut my teeth on the 70, you know, through the fields and quarries and basically being a young tow rag. But learned how to ride. And then I went off that onto motocross, and then I had quite a few motocross bikes. And then I left bikes actually for a long time when I got old enough for a car. You know, did my car test. My dad's always been a rider, always, but he's never had any riding buddies. So he'd always come and see me on his bike. My dad lives in Liverpool. He'd always come and see me on his bike on his own. And then I did told him I got a surprise for him. So I bought my beloved VFR 800 over there without him knowing, did my test. This was in 2010, 11. And that's what really got me back in to riding bikes. I forgot how much I loved it. So did the test, got the bike, and then rode up to see him. I pulled up outside and he's like, "What are you doing on that?" Basically saying, if you get caught, you're going to be in trouble. Not knowing that I'd passed my test. But then I said to him, "What are you doing in May?" He's like, "Nothing, why?" I said, "Right, clear your diary. Me and you were going to Spain." And that's really where Wildbad came from. Me and him went touring Europe for a month, and I completely fell in love with it. You know, when you do something, you just think, I absolutely love this. This is me. And that's where it came from, really. And I have loved it ever since. Thank you very much. Colton Moore. Hi, Richard, love your videos. What did you do for work before Wildbad? I've had a tiling business for 25 years. Bathrooms, kitchens, tiling. Domestic. I still have. Thank you very much. Dave Ragg, where's he gone? Gone. Where's he gone? Yes, he has. Well, in fact, no, we still see him, and he doesn't really ride with us or at all because he's not allowed, because he's chained to his kitchen sink, I think. But you know, he does come out every now and then. Saw him for a nice curry the other night. We've got a Christmas curry booked, by the way, if anybody fancies joining us. December the 16th. I think it is Saturday, December the 16th. Details down below. Fancy joining us? Let me know. We've got hired the room out exclusively, so there could be 100 of us in their function room upstairs. Bottomless curry. Woo! One of the best curries you'll ever have as well. Anyway, that's that. Dave Osborne, hi Richie. If you like trail riding so much, have you ever thought of an enduro or green laning on a fully road legal off-road bike? KTM 450 Beta, 450 Husky, etc. Or does that not suit your style and channel? Yeah, it does suit my style, definitely. I love that kind of stuff. And yes, I would definitely have one. I think I just covered that a bit earlier on. I would definitely have one in a heartbeat. It just makes everything so much easier. And like I said before, if you drop them, it doesn't really matter because they're super flexy, aren't they? So you're not really going to damage anything. Especially, you know, these are... I mean, I remember when I first started doing these, when did it become normal to take a 20 grand bike onto, you know, rocks and, you know, trails and stuff? It's not normal. Even though it's become acceptable, I'd be gutted if anything happened. Well, especially this one, because this one's brand new, almost. It's got no miles on yet, because I've been riding this one, abusing this one too much. But anyway, yes, I would love one, Dave. David Holmes, is the new Kais Ultraflex kit, this is the heated gear, actually it's there. That's I don't know if you can see that. That's the Ultraflex there. Let me stand up and get it here. That's it's really thin. Kai stuff is bloody brilliant. You get all these controllers and everything with it. I'll not bore you with too much of that, but I will tell you all about it. Let me hang that back up. Yeah, that's the Ultraflex, the new Ultraflex. This is the Pro Extreme. That's I'm only showing you this because the question mentions it. So this is the Extreme jacket. That's like more of a shell, like a soft shell. That's more of a flexible undergarment, if you like. So, right, that's that. Right, so, question is the Ultraflex kit much better and thinner than the previous shell type? And does it justify the upgrade if you have already had the previous generation? I'm not necessarily sure it's an upgrade. It's just a different kind of garment. I will say, I mean, the Extreme is so comfortable. so comfortable. That one you can't feel it. The Ultraflex you can't feel it, but I don't like the fact that when you're putting it on, it's flexible, so it's like, you know, your arms, like you have to stretch your arms to get them in properly, whereas that's just a jacket, whoosh, whack it on. That's made to be super thin as an undergarment. Just excuse me while I turn this off, because the battery's gone. I'm sure you can still see me. Yeah, that's like an undergarment made really, really thin. It still gives off the same heat as the Extreme. I think I probably prefer the Extreme though, only because I don't like the fact that that's super stretchy. You might like it, I don't know, but they are amazing. You've got heat all the way up your neck, all the way down to your bottom of your wrist, right the way down to your waist, all of it just completely warm. It's stunning, and it changes everything. Right then, David Holmes, thank you very much. Dean Clark, which would be the most favourite location you have toured in? Keep up the good work. Favourite location you have toured in? Oh, I've done so many now. Iceland's very special. Top of Norway's very special, and all Norway's special. But because of the hassle it took to do it, the America thing has got to be, you know, riding through Monument Valley. Just what the hell? What? The Mexican hats just there, like you called it the Grand Canyon earlier, you know, on your own bike, that VFR over in the corner there. I think America. 61 Defender. Hi Richie, 4 weeks till the shortest day of this year. Actually, that's a good thing. Still getting longer after that. Do you know, earlier on, it was dark at 3:30. Question, any thoughts on some music vids? Really enjoyed the lockdown ones. Thank you. Yeah, they just never go down very well. But if I'm honest with you, that's where my heart is. And I love it. I absolutely love it. More than anything. So yeah, I do get asked about that quite a bit. Maybe I ought to do like, I don't know, Sunday night's video is bikes, Wednesday night's video is a song, or I don't know. I'll think of something. Greg Lovell, Tasmanian, Australia. Summer is on the way. Oh, I think Charlie Borman's down there at the moment on a launch. Imagine that, getting called to do a launch down in Tasmania. Yes, please. As long as you follow me first. Wesley Logan, Richie, I have a 2023 1050 DL. I notice you have a different end cannon. Just wondering what it is. Cheers, Wes. Wes, it's fuel. It's a fuel exhaust. And you know, I don't suppose you can see. Actually, of course you can see. Here, look. Oh, cock. I can show you around a little bit, can't I, with this one? So there's the Africa Twin, look. This is the 1050DE, which I bloody love. And I really do love it. And this is the fuel exhaust. As you can see at the moment, it's ditched. I'm not going to rub that muck off because I don't want to scratch it. But yeah, fuel. And you know, it sounds bloody fantastic. It really sounds amazing. Yes, made in Kendal. Fuel exhaust. Lovely people. All made up there by Damien's hands. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I'd recommend. In fact, 2 things for the V-Strom I definitely recommend. That is a set of Trail Max Raids, amazing tyre, and the fuel exhaust. Completely changes the bike. It sounds great. Andy Singh 69. This is Andy that came across America with us. Here's one for you, Rich. Why did I knew this was coming. Wildbad USA 2 and a kissing emoji. Andy, listen, pal. It's coming. I don't know if I've told you any plans, but I've got plans. A lot of them. But at the moment, it's just so expensive. Like, you remember how much it cost when we did ours? The total cost of our trip, it's now costing just for the bike. So get your hands in your pockets and get saving up, because you're going to need to. I'm going to fly through some. Hi Richie, I'm in Donegal, very windy and damp, 11 degrees. I live on the Wild Atlantic Way. Yes, I know, it's beautiful. Nice to hear from you, Liam. I do love the Wild Atlantic Way. And Donegal, yes, definitely, love it. Curious Critters, not sure if it's a question or idea for content. ABR, WW23, PCOS. Even everyday rides I still overpack and it becomes my downfall, especially WW23. That's my Wildbad Weekender. Snapping my key when overweight when the bike toppled over. Oh dear. I'm learning, but what do you take on your everyday casual ride? What do you pack for weekends away, tours? I don't take anything nowadays. I don't take anything. The thing is, you've got to imagine, let's say you're on a week's tour. You absolutely do not need a week's amount of clothes because you're in your riding gear all the time. You're only in your night gear for a couple of hours every night. So even if you, personally, I take one pair of jeans. If I go away for a week, when we went to Picos, for instance, took one pair of jeans, pair of trainers, 2 or 3 t-shirts, tops, 2 pairs of pants. Yeah, and just a jacket. You don't need anything because you're not going to make any of it stink because you're only in it for a couple of hours. So pack what you think, then half it, and you've probably still got too much. Ben Kelly. Hi Rich, I know you're a great country fan. Yes, I am. What do you think of the Dead South? Oh, brilliant, brilliant band. Yes, they are great. Have a listen, they're great. Yes, they are. Love your work, mate. Thank you very much, Ben. The Dead South. Brilliant. What's that song? Where they're walking along the train track. When I die, I'll be in hell or something. I can't remember what it's called now, but that is a belter. Really is. Will, why? Which would you rather, play at Glastonbury or compete in Dakar? Easiest question in the world, easiest answer should I say, Glastonbury, 100%. The naked bikers in the southern hemisphere here, Western Australia. We're having a heat wave currently, averaging 40 degrees. It's late spring, definitely shorts and vest. Oh. Question, any plans to tour Western Australia or Australia? Also, if you could have one bike. Yeah. Again, yes, no plans as such, like actual plans, but I'd love to. I'd love to come down there. Really, really, really would. In fact, I was very, very, very close to coming 2016, January. I got a plan with Steve from Big Bike Adventures. And I was due to go down and ride. This was the January when my Georgia were born in the March. And got to the point where I just thought, it's a little bit too close for comfort. So I had to say sorry to the guys down there, but I was gutted. But yes, it's definitely on the cards at some point. Next one, Dom Benazon? Dom Benazon. Hi Rich, question for you. TT or Dakar? Not really bothered of either. Rossi or Marquez? Who are they? I don't know what they do. Electric or acoustic? Depends what mood I'm in. I play electric most of the time in the band. When it's just me, acoustic. So acoustic guitar, piano, that's me. Happy as a piggy muck. Red or brown? Brown, I think, yeah. A great view or a great tune? That's a tricky one. I think a great tune can create a great view. So a great tune. Take it easy, fella, and thanks for the vids. Thank you. Next one. Kevin Close. Hi, Richie. So my question is, I know you played in the group at your Wildbad Weekender. Do you play often? And if so, why not post those videos up? I really enjoy your lockdown musical videos. And is it you playing the guitar at the start of this video? No, it's not me playing on this track. On the opening credits of the intro of this video, last video. That's not me playing. It's a lovely piece though, isn't it? Yeah, we'll play all the time. Gigging tomorrow night actually, everything's loaded ready. Yeah, we'll play all the time. Yeah, I should do some live videos, live band videos actually. I ought to actually do that. You're right, Kevin. In fact, I might look into it. Dave Washington. Dave Washington, what a great bloke. Thank you very much, Dave, for everything you did for me, mate. Dave Washington's basically looked after me and straightened my back out for me. This is another guy that's never once asked for any publicity in any way. He's just a bloody good guy. And yeah, I think I went to see him for about 10 weeks. Had about 6 to 10 treatments. And I've messaged him several times and told him I've never been so free. I used to struggle with my back all the time. And he actually got in touch with me and said, this is what I do for a living. I've heard you moan several times on your videos about your back. Come and see me. So I went to see him and he put me right. Thank you, bud. Thank you. you'll not know how much I appreciate what you've done for me. So, what is the best kit that you own and the worst, and why? It'll be strange not seeing the Strom when it goes back, but it'll be nice to see the familiar AT cockpit. Yeah, so not that cockpit, but that cockpit. Yeah. Best bit of kit and worst bit of kit. I guess depending on the season, this answer will change. But at the moment, as we're heading into a winter season, the Kai seated clothing, it's just absolutely worth every single penny. It's brilliant. Just wire your bike up, stick your garment on, plug it in, and you've got central heating all over you. It's absolutely amazing. And I will say the worst is the GoPro, because they're just so temperamental. Lately I'm having files just disappear. The camera's saying it's recording, and then all of a sudden it's like no file. So, you know, I love the camera and I bloody hate the camera at the same time. But, you know, I need it, don't I? So, anyway, thank you, Dave. Midlife crisis. Great video content as usual. What microphone are you using in the helmet, or is it down to your mixing process when editing? Keep up the good work. Where other channels seem to be struggling with good content, yours keeps moving forward. Thank you. No, thank you. Thanks very much. Midlife crisis. Yeah, I just keep churning out the usual stuff that I do, and you lot seem to like it, so thank you. What microphone are you using? It's the Rode Lav Go. I'm going to try and motor through some now because we've got tons to go. Loads. I'm in Australia, mate, and it's spring here and I'm ready for summer. Oh. Michael Harrison, Victorian High Country, Australia. Oh, Michael, was it you that sent me the picture this morning of the off-roading? Oh, man, oh, man. Ugh. James Webber, is USA 2.0 in the works? Yes, sir, it is. We are doing, I've not confirmed yet, but we're planning on doing all the northwestern states. So Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Banff, you know, all staying in that area. Yeah, and bit of Utah, getting some of the backcountry roads done. But yes, that's the plan, to stay over there, fly into and out of Calgary, but it's just proving to be very, very, very expensive at the moment. But yes, that's the plan. Don't know exactly what we're doing, but yeah. Bob Lynch. Hi, Bob. Lovely intro. Thank you. I'm a bit jealous of your endless country lanes up here in Idaho. That's the other one. How we're going. I'm going to. There's very little pavement, but miles of dirt roads. Oh, exactly why I want to come. Whose conditions change from season to season, much as your favourite country green lane, the one recently that I didn't want to take this one down, but I took that one down just in case I dropped it. Much as your favourite country green lane, but more extreme to the point of being impassable. Anyway, winter is coming in a bit more slowly than last year. Thank the gods for my construction project has a bit more excavation to be accomplished. I'm still getting out for now. The 40s Fahrenheit are where I draw the line. I'm in a ski town, so things will certainly come to an end soon. Maybe you could get down to the Canaries for me to help me through. Once again, thanks so much for your efforts. No, thank you, Bob. Yeah, when we do come over, it'd be lovely to hook up. We'd definitely come in and we'll definitely be in Idaho, but I don't know when exactly yet. A Brit, a blonde, a bike. Why is your music taste so bad? I'm just going to put you a very, very, very quick little example of the music that this clown listens to. Oh, I rest my case. Love you, pal. Gary Pepperman. Any plans in the near future for another attempt on a live stream together with some of the other YouTube favourites? Yeah, we will definitely do one. In fact, Andy messaged me today to ask me if I wanted to go down to his tomorrow for a beer and stay over to do a live stream, but I'm gigging, so unfortunately I cannot make it. But yes, Gary, we'll definitely be doing something again next year, without a question. Rob Fryer. Hi, Richie. Warming up today here in Palmerston North, New Zealand. Heading towards 23 degrees this afternoon. Loving your content, thank you. V-Strom here is a budget bike, as it is here, but your vids are certainly giving them a good rap. Exactly the reason I've got it. Favourite series to date was your Iceland adventure ride. Thank you. That is now a bucket list. It should be a bucket list for everybody. Save some pennies because it's bloody expensive, but it's absolutely mind-blowing and hard work, so get yourself to the gym before you do. Will you get to New Zealand or Australia for some sort of tour? Yes, definitely. It's definitely on the cards, but I don't know when. It just takes a lot of planning with having a young family, and it's obviously a long way away, and it would be a long time away from home. So, Dave McKenna, one more. Where's he gone these days? Who? Dave McKenna again. In the Picos, which is your favourite road? Tarmac, that is. It's either the N621 that was always the favourite, or it's the AS114, I think, coming out of Ojeda up towards Puente Nansa, I think, or the P210. Oh, I don't know. There's so many bloody good roads up there, down there, should I say. Amazing place. Hence the reason we go all the time. Forest Boy. If I'm squinting, it's because this light in front of me is super bright. Hi Richie, if you could only buy one camera, would it be a GoPro type or 360? I think it's supposed to say. And why? Reason for asking, I'll make a few videos, but I think the 360 will be too time-consuming editing for a part novice. Yep, exactly that, Mr. Forest Boy. I mentioned that earlier on as well. It's too much work. The 360 is too much work. It's a bloody great camera and it's awesome technology, but it really needs to be either a cockpit camera back or a B-roll camera for, you know, getting some really cool bike shots, because they are awesome, but there's too much work that goes into editing them to be able to be your main camera. It'd be too much for me anyway. Alan Barnes, are you attending the ABR festival next year? Yes, I should think so, Alan. Yep, all being well. Derbyshire Rural Rider, nice to hear from you, mate. Nice ride to the NEC this morning, dry and mild. Oh, I've not actually bothered with the bike show this year. It's still on. I think it's got another week, but I'm just not bothered this year for some reason. Hope you had a good day there. Norrie Masson, nice to hear from you, Norrie. I know you are planning a return to the west coast of America, and you mentioned the cost of shipping, flying the bike had increased massively. Yeah. So my question is, has the trip been postponed or cancelled? No, definitely not cancelled, and I'm probably working or sniffing with this most days. Not been cancelled. It's not really been postponed because it's not been booked yet, but it's definitely happening. My plan is to make that happen in 25. Next year I've got 5 tours down to northern Spain. I'm taking about 60 riders down to the Picos de Europa just to show it off to them. Yeah, next year I'll be knackered. So the year after, I think all my efforts are going to go into that. Chris Owens, another one. Where's Gaz and Egon these days? Gaz has been busy working and Egon is chained to his sink. Good day from Melbourne, Australia. From White Dr. Guy. Probably going to be in the low 20s here again. Summer hasn't hit yet, but could get warmer soon. Question is, when is Wildbag doing the big trip down under? Oh, a lot of writing on this one. The countryside not as green as the UK, but if country riding is your go, then there is no shortage of dirt road fun to be had down here. The Victorian High Country is unbelievable for riding dirt. Oh. The logistics of a trip to Oz are probably not the easiest to organise, but as a one-off trip, it would be well worth it. Yes, I've got no doubts about that. I'm heading back to Croatia next May to reunite with my trusted DR650. Ah. Hang on a second. White Doctor Guy, you're the guy that came to the Wildbad Weekender? I think. If you are, let me know. I think you are. In fact, you probably do tell me in a minute when I keep reading. Heading back to Croatia to reunite with my trusted DR650 to head back to the UK and then ship the bike back to Oz via the Isle of Man and the TT and the ABR Festival. The UK and Europe has been on my bucket list for an eternity, and I loved every minute of the adventure, apart from all the rain in the UK. I'm heading over to Ireland after the TT, and hopefully the weather will cooperate this time. Cheers, mate. Hopefully we can meet again in the UK or in the Oz one day. Yes, that's definitely you. Oh, mate, it's great to hear from you. That blew my mind when you pulled up next to me and I noticed you've got an Australian number plate on your bike. Awesome. Very good to hear from you, mate. And yes, I would love to come over and ride that Victorian High Country. Oh my God, that looks amazing. Right, Southwest. Was in southwestern Australia, but now in Scotland. No difference. 10 degrees here today. Last day in Australia was 45 degrees. think others have mentioned the double tap brake release. What? Ah, I mentioned in that video that the parking brake hill assist on this, I nearly came unstuck with it. Someone nearly reversed into me and I couldn't get it off in time. I know how to do it, it's just that moment of panic, I just couldn't think straight. David Smart, do you have any bucket list destinations? Yeah, we've said Australia, New Zealand, definitely. Again, you know, if I didn't have a young family, I would be off. I would be away somewhere. Colin Barber. Hi Richie, your latest Africa Twin was a new to you bike rather than buying a new bike. Do you think that there are decent savings to be had buying a used bike or buying a new one? In the dealerships, it doesn't seem to make a big difference between a new bike and a 2-year-old one. Yeah, I don't suppose it's nice to have a new one, isn't it? Because you know it's just your ass that's sat on it. But you know, my VFR over in the corner there, 95,000 miles. I'm not the first owner. I guarantee I'm the only one that's taken it to America though. There's loads of decent bikes out there. You don't need a new bike. You really don't need a new bike. It is nice to have one, but you absolutely don't need one. Mum 0217. Richie, what's your thoughts on the Can-Am F3S trike? I've never ridden one, so I don't know, but they look bloody great, and I would love to ride one. They do look fantastic, actually. Oh, same lady. Hi Richie, I live close to Blackpool on the Lancashire coast. It always gets cold and damp in winter around these parts. We do have the Lake District on our doorstep, which has some amazing vistas. Yes, it does, especially at this time of year. I would like to check to see more of Derbyshire on the Peak District when I get a chance. I love the off-roading you do, and I remember doing quite a bit of trials riding my younger days. Keep them coming and great watch as always. Thank you very much. Yeah, you must come over. Peak District is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. As is, you know, the Lake District and all the others. Yorkshire's fantastic. Ben Smith, what bike would you love to have in the garage? Be it on loan or otherwise, if you've not yet had the chance to ride. That new Desert X from Ducati looks amazing, and I would definitely love to get my hands on that. A Man Astray. Hi Richie, where am I in the world? Obviously the best place up the road in Yorkshire. Good lad. That's for a question. I've been in a group ride with a maximum of 8 people, and I found it challenging. Different riding styles, bravado, communication and personality, etc. How do you cope with the 20 plus group on the Picos tours or your hundreds during the Wildbad Weekender? Well, the most we've had at the Wildbad Weekender has been convoy, has been 300. 300 bikes all riding in convoy. Amazing. And yeah, the groups in Picos, so we do, yeah, groups from 10 to 20. It really, I don't know. It depends who's running the group. If egos are involved, you're going to come unstuck. Definitely. I think for me, first of all, I always ask everybody to be respectful of each other and look after each other. You know, some people in the group might not be that confident. The last thing that person needs is someone acting all, you know, super confident and aggressive with the riding, and because then that's going to make you ride even worse, and then, you know, the worst happens. You want to come and ride with me, mate? Come and ride with us for a bit. You'd be more than welcome. Come and have a ride with us, and I'd like to see if you change your mind after that. George, that's your name, George. Yeah, the person that's leading it obviously is in control of the speed, and really, it's just a matter of everyone being respectful and looking after each other. That's the main thing. I'm not a rider that's reckless in any way. You know, I'll ride fast when it's safe to do so, and it's completely safe to do so. I'll never take chances, especially if there's people behind me and I'm leading a group. No way. It's just not what you do, is it? Anyway, Rick Harry Sergers Johnson, thanks for your great channel. I have the Dunlops on the Suzuki and the Anarchy Wild. Oh, you have the Dunlops on the Suzuki and the Anarchy Wilds on the AT. Can you compare these tyres? I ride the 1200 Tiger Rally Pro, and my Anarchy Wilds are gone after only 6,000 kilometres. You think the Dunlops would be better here in Iceland? I'd love the Trail Max Raid. That's a great tyre, as is the Anarchy Wild. To be honest, these are still like new because the bike's still new. There's no miles on this bike yet, really. Not even 2,000, I don't think. So the tyres are still like new, really. I've put 4,500 miles on the first set of Trail Max Raids. The rear was shot. I've got a new rear on it now. I've got the same front still. So that's done 4,500 miles and it still looks great. In fact, I'll show you. Still looks great. And the back is really good. And again, the Anarchy Wilds still like new on the AT. I don't know if they'd be any better or not. I think they're about the same. I love both tyres. I just sit tight. 6,000 kilometres, what's that in miles? 4,500 miles. That's about 8,000 kilometres, isn't it? Not quite. It's probably about the same, to be honest. Rick. John Jameson, how are you finding the Trail Max Raid? That's perfect that them two questions are coming at the same time. Great. Absolutely love the tyre. And that's why I've had another set. Another rear on. They're bloody brilliant. Niall, is Gaz going to give the mountain in Pecos another go? Yes, he is. Next year he's doing it. In fact, he's coming twice with me next year, and he's definitely going to give it a go. He's desperate to get over it, and he was so mad at himself last year when he failed. So mad at himself. And I know that he can do it because I've seen him do it. The only reason he struggled last time is because he just panicked and then saw everyone else panicking, which made it worse. So, yeah, he can definitely do it. Right. Mark Hayton. Hi, Rich, from the depths... It's really cold in here, that's why my nose is running. From the depths of South Staffordshire. Hate the dark nights and winter. Sad gets me every year. Sad? What's sad again? Winter sad gets me every year, so a question or two. I'm coming up your end of the world for a few days next year camping. Can you recommend any good campsites, but not large farm sites? Maybe in a central location. I enjoy the roads less travelled, but not too rugged. So what routes and sites would you recommend to fill a few days exploring in your backyard? Cheers, Mark. Well, a cafe that I've started going to a lot. Not a lot, because I don't have that many breakfasts anymore. But I do. It's the only cafe I'm using at the moment. It's called the Cowshed, and it's in Millersdale, on a campsite called Beltonville. And it looks like just an old farm, and not really a big campsite. But that's in a great location, really great location. So maybe give that one a shot. But there's loads of roads up here. Loads of roads I could show you, or even tell you about. Drop me an email, rich@wildbadtouring.com, and I will tell you. Niall, any chance of a trip to Australia? Yes, 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 yes. Everyone said Victoria and up the East Coast. Ooh. Tour Up Adventure 23. If you had to choose just one tour to repeat every year and do no other tour, which would it be and why? Oh man, why would you make me think that? Norway, probably. Stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. R1291. Hi Rich, could I ask, where do you find the lanes? Good video. As I said before on one of the questions, join GLASS, Green Lane Association. You get access to an app and a website called Trailwise 2. And it gives you all the up-to-date legal lanes in your area. Just open the app wherever you are and it brings up the map and you can see all the lanes. And it's brilliant. Carol Dave. Like yourself, I've been to one or two places abroad and the UK, but as a resident of Cumbria, born in County Durham, if given choice and free to live somewhere else, would you leave your present location? My answer to my own question is a definite no. All the best, Dave. Wow, Dave, that's a great question. My answer to my own question is a definite no. Wow. Well, I adore Derbyshire. I don't think I would. I don't think I would, Dave. I am slightly obsessed with the west coast of America, though. Again, you know, Idaho and Montana and all that country boy stuff. That's what I love. But that's what I've got as well, really, in the Derbyshire dales and peaks. You know, it's not, okay. It's not Montana, but you get my gist. Will 7947. I recently picked up a 2016 VFR 800 Crossrun. I love it. Seen your great reviews of it, but doesn't seem to get a huge amount of coverage broadly, and I don't see too many about. Any thoughts why? Keen to hear your thoughts. You don't, and you don't see them on the road. I don't think they sold very well. It's a shame actually, because it's a great bike. I think I know one. I know one person on the channel that's got one, and now you. Strange, really, but I don't know why. James Holmes. Hi Richie, are you making a 2024 calendar? What date is it? 23rd of November. I'm getting right on it. I've bloody forgot. I've got that much going off at the moment. Yes, I will be doing one. So Graham, if you're watching, get ready because the order's coming in. Old man vlogger, why do you not go to do the breakfast at the railway station anymore? Is that Grindleford? Because they're miserable in there. That's why. Don't go anymore. Used to go all the time. Lovely place, lovely location. But I got to the point where I don't actually even think they want people going there. They're just miserable, and I don't want to be greeted with someone that's miserable. So that's the reason why. Eddie Milbayman. Hi Rich, watched your American, which was brilliant. Do you still be in contact with the people you met and stayed with, and have you any plans for going back or a big tour, something like it? It would be nice to see a long series again. Yeah, I want to get into a long series again, you know. Something new. Something to really get my teeth into, and yeah. Yes, still speak to some of them. Dave, whose house we stayed at in Pennsylvania, he drops in from time to time. He's a lovely bloke, actually, and very, 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 very kind of him to let us stay there. Andy, I'll never forget him. Why have I just met the nicest guy I've probably ever met in my life, and then I've just knocked my bike over his bike and knocked his bike over as well. Oh, right, horrible that was, Andy. We all felt for you, mate, but Dave didn't really care too much. Either that, or when we left, he was like, ah! Anyway, we do speak to some of them, and I speak to the guys. Our next one, Scott Bauer. Now then, Scott, would you consider leading an adventure bike off-road day in Derbyshire? Yes, mate, I would. Yeah, if you're up for that, mate, you'd be more than welcome. Curious Critter, he really should. Yes. Yeah, I'd happily take you and show you some of the lanes. Definitely, no problem at all. Let me know, mate. Kevin Kennedy. Oh, hang on, is this a double question? Yes, it is, hang on. Kevin Kennedy. Hi, Rich. Do you rate the Africa Twin ahead of the KTM 1300? Great work, cheers. KTM 1290R. I don't say I rate it over it. No, that Super Adventure R is an awesome bike, and if you didn't see me review on it, go and have a nosy. Links in the description or above my head now. That's the only bike to make me twitch from this one. At the time, like when KTM wheeled that out to me, I was like that. Oh, and it's just a absolutely stonking bike. I would love one, and if anything happened to this, I would happily have one. But I genuinely love this. It's brilliant, and the more I ride this, the more I love it. I know it's not as, you know, aggressive as the 1290, nowhere near, but that's not slow in any means at all. So it's still a great bike. But yeah, the 1290 is great. Critical Cuda. Now then, Bright. Buffalo Trace or Maker's Mark. I love them both equally, but Buffalo Trace takes it for me. And I didn't actually show you over there, Brian. I've got 7 bottles, unopened bottles of Buffalo Trace over there, because I'm not drinking at the moment at all. I'm just not drinking. Doing this OMAD thing. I don't know if my taste's changed or what, but I have got no interest at all in it. So, but yeah, Buffalo Trace and ginger with a block of ice in. Perfect drink. Stevie B, what really happened to... Oh, I'm not even giving that name airtime. Next one. Beg your pardon. I hope that one's still going. Jimmy Rotten Collie. If you were sharing a room with Teapot One, who would be the giver and who would be the taker? That's like you're talking hypothetically there. Who would be or who has been? Andy Bat, who is the wealthiest, you or TMF? I don't have a plane. I've got 3 acres. I ain't really. Come on, no question there. That's silly. Tony Williamson. What about sharing your diet plan with more details on how it works and what it entails, please? What plans have you for another 125 road trip? It'd be good if it involved Bruce, Mr. Fish, Lamb Chops, TMF and your good self on all Honda Cubs and monkey bikes. The diet, it's not really a diet, it's just OMAD. 1 meal a day. That's it. We eat about 5 o'clock at tea time, and I'll eat in that window for about an hour. I'll eat whatever I want. I'll have chocolate, you know, afterwards. I'll finish George's off. I'll finish Laura's off. I eat loads. I've always had a massive appetite. I just don't have any breakfast. I don't have any snacks, lunch, nothing. Just like 1 meal a day. And no booze. Not boozing at home at all. The other night, this is how bad things have got. The other night, her indoors went out, and so just me and Georgia. And I said to her, let's have a takeaway. We'll have a takeaway tonight. Yeah, got the fire roaring. I thought, I'm gonna have a bottle of wine tonight. And I used to love my bottles of red. Really. I'm gonna have a bottle of red tonight. So it's out here in the garage. So came and got one, took it in, put it next to the stove. So it's really hot. To warm it up, I cut the foil, left it on the side there, got it up to perfect temperature, and then I thought, right, I'm going to open it now. Went into the kitchen, got the corkscrew, and I'm like, don't actually even want it. So I just put it back in the cupboard. And then the other night, I actually did open it. I said, you know what, it was my birthday on Monday, so thank you very much. So I opened it, and do you know what, I had about that much of a glass, popped the cork, had that much of a glass, tipped the rest of it. Tipped it. Not interested. So, yeah, at the moment, I am not boozing at all, and that must be doing me the world of good as well because of, you know, going along with the 1 meal a day. So, at the moment, I am currently 1.5 stone lighter than I was when than say Christmas time. So I'm 14 stone at the moment, and I seem to have levelled out around about 14 stone. I got as low as 13, but I've had a couple of holidays with the family and stuff. So, you know, I always said with this diet, or 1 meal a day, that I'll do it and it suits me to the ground. I'm not hungry at breakfast time. I'm not sniffing in the fridge. I'm right as rain. I drink tons of tea, loads of tea. But I always said any social occasion, I will drink, I'll eat, I'll do whatever. But, you know, in normal times, I'll just stick to it, and I have done. But yeah, so I seem to have settled around about 14 stone. Can't seem to get back under there now for whatever reason. I would like to be back to 13 and have that be my settled weight. But yeah, that's it. 1 meal a day. And people have said to me, yeah, but what if I have this for breakfast or that, or this bit of fruit or that? Like, no. 1 meal a day is 1 meal a day. Don't put anything in your mouth until tea time. And then eat what you want. Eat loads till you're absolutely stuffed. But then after an hour, nothing else. Just stop again. And like I say, I'm just drinking loads and loads and loads of tea. Loads of it. So whether that's helping, I don't know. That's what I do. Yeah, it would be good to do another trip on the 125s, definitely, and I'm sure it will happen. Kevin Manning, I have 2 questions, Richie. Question 1, where did you get your motorbike trailer from? Oh, shit. Why have I had to ask this? Why have I had to ask that out loud? Where did you get your motorbike trailer from you had at the ABR? Question 2, I'm looking at riding abroad for the first time on my 50th. What sort of costs am I looking at for, say, 10 nights in the Picos? And what advice would you give someone that has never ridden abroad before? The trailer was from my good friend Andy, TMF. I'd mentioned and asked him what it was like, because I got rid of my van stupidly and bought a truck stupidly. Hate it. Really don't like it. I've not got on with it one bit. I've had it for a year. A year on Christmas Eve, actually. Not even on 6,000 miles in it, because I don't use it. It's just sat there doing nothing. I don't like it. Looks nice, but that's about it. Waste of time. So I had to get a trailer, because obviously you can't put a bike in the back of a truck. Not the trucks in the UK anyway. You can on the big trucks in America, but not here. So anyway, yeah, the trailers. Andy had one, and I messaged him to ask him how it was, and he said, I don't really use it. Do you want to try it if you like it? So I collected it from him, and he said, if you want it, make me an offer. And I just haven't done. So I'm looking at riding abroad for my 50th. What sort of costs? Well, the ferry costs a bomb now. It's crazy how much that's... Even just the ferry is about 800 quid return. It's stupid. Yeah, just be prepared to put your hand in your pocket a bit. What advice would you give someone that has never ridden abroad before? Ride on the right. That's the first and foremost. Enjoy yourself, take your time, don't plan too much each day. Base your days on 200 miles and bloody well enjoy yourself. Take your time, look round, stop, take them photos. It's just fantastic. Fantastic. People are friendly. Stop and have them coffees at the side of the road. Austin, what got you into bikes? I think I've covered that earlier on. I'm just going to push on a bit now. Okay, here's a question. I'm not sure how I'm going to answer this one, but Rinky Dink. Hi Rich, sorry, bit personal, but ballpark, how much do you make from YouTube? You did say ask anything. I did say ask anything. They didn't say I'd answer it though. Well, it's weird. The YouTube thing's weird, and I love it and hate it because, you know, you go to work, you know how much money you're making, right? With YouTube, you kind of can keep track on it, but it goes up and down like a yo-yo, so for whatever reason. I'm not going to give any figures, but, you know, it's enough for me to be able to slow my main business down. It's not enough for me to stop my main business. It isn't, sadly. I would love it to be, but just doesn't perform anywhere near as well as it should do. I kind of scooted around it, but kind of answered it for you. Tony Lawson, Buffalo Trace or Four Roses? Buffalo Trace. Guy Stevens, another. Any plans for a winter trip yet? Not yet. Also, where is Egon and Gaz? I'll be back soon. Egon not allowed out. Shh. Egon's not allowed out, yeah. The plans for the winter trip, I actually put, it's getting towards that time. I actually put a post up the other day to just basically ask people for some suggestions, you know, throw something out there, because at this stage, even though I know I go early January and I normally have about a week to do it, I've got no plans, no destination in mind. Excuse me, I've got something in my eyeball. I don't know if I'm going up, down, left or right. My initial plan was to go south into the sun to Portugal, and I think that might be what I'm going to do. But yeah, we'll there'll be more coming out about that shortly. Susie, if you're coming to Calgary, any chance of a meeting? As a note, this is the wife. As a note, this is the wife's profile. So it's not Susie that wants to meet me; it's her husband. Yes, we hopefully. Again, I don't know when it's going to happen, but the plan is to fly into and out of Calgary, or into Calgary and out of Vancouver. Not sure yet. Probably be Calgary, Vancouver actually. Motorbike Mara. Question: if given a choice of V-Strom GS, KTM, SAS, Tiger Pro or the Pan America, which would you choose? Deliberately left the Africa out as you have one. Pan America, I've still not had the pleasure of riding. I really want to ride one. I really want to ride one, and I want to ride it properly, you know, getting it dirty like this. So please, Harley, I know you got in touch with me once upon a time to ask me to do this, and then you never followed it through, so I'm still here waiting. Pan America, so that's that. Yes, I would love to. The Tiger Pro, bloody quick bike. The 1200, bloody quick. GS, not interested. Does not interest me one bit. The V-Strom, I'd genuinely rather have the V-Strom than a GS, and that's not me being... This is nothing to do with the fact that Suzuki gave it me on a long-term loan. It makes no difference to Suzuki what I say about this. I love it. It's not as fancy as this or the GS, but it's more exciting. The GS does not do anything for me at all, as amazing as it is. So the V-Strom, KTM SAS. See, out of all those, the Pan America is the one that's making me twitch a bit. That's probably because I've not ridden that. I've ridden everything else. I'd probably ride it and go... But then I might ride it and go, oh. So let's put a pin in that one. Question 2. Would you live in a luxury house, massive garden with a clause of no motorbikes, or a one-bed flat with a single garage? I think he means, would I have a luxury house, a massive garden with no motorbikes, or a one-bed flat with a single garage for motorbikes? I like space too much, so luxury house, massive garden, no bikes. As long as I've got a guitar, I'm happy. Mark Dunphy. 3 questions, greedy. 1. Best thing you've ever done that stands out the most? Best thing I've ever done. Watch the midnight sun with my VFR at the side of me. Most favourite bike you ever had or have? VFR. 3. Favourite place to visit when on tour or holiday? Well, we go to the Picos a lot, and I absolutely adore the place, so I'm going to say Picos. I know it's a bit of a boring one to say, but Super Saber, where's Aegon? Hope I've not missed some summit and all is okay. Only he never seems to be around now. No, there's nothing wrong. He's still there. He's just chained to his sink. When are you going back to Norway? I'd love to go back to Norway. Nordkapp is calling. See, I like to do things different. Everyone does Nordkapp. That's why I didn't do Nordkapp last time. I wanted to go to the Lofoten Islands because it was not done. I love being different. So, you know, all this like Land's End to John O'Groats, not interested. Because it should have just been done to death. And I like to do something that's different, you know. I guess that's why I go to Scotland in January, because I'm stupid. Oh, I think I might have run out of questions. I think I have. I've just come to the end of the questions. Thank God for that. Oh, that was the last question. The Nordkapp. Nordkapp is calling. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I would love to go and say I've done it, but it kind of puts me off if I've seen other people do it before me. That, I believe, is a wrap, folks. In fact, before we do, what I'm going to do is just refresh. There's anything different. Yeah, loads more have come in. Let's have a quick look. We'll have 5 more minutes, okay? Jim. Hi, Richie. Any plans to do another tour series with Egon, Paul, Jim and Gaz? Such a mix of characters and very entertaining. No plans. Egon's not allowed to come out anymore because he's chained to his sink. Paul, I actually saw Paul and rekindled with Paul not long ago at a family wedding. It was lovely to see him, actually, and he was dancing with my Georgia, and it was lovely to see him. And we had a big cuddle and kiss and that, and yeah, I do miss him, and we had a bloody good laugh together. Jim's always riding with us. He's had a bit of ill health recently. He's had to have a couple of operations, but he's fighting fit again now, so he's good. And Gaz obviously is always with us, so... got one here, Danny Daly. Not a question, more of a statement. I did not touch her with any part of my body, just to let you know. P.S. The wife's still bonkers. Not sure if you wanted me to read that out, Danny, but basically, when we went to the ABR festival, Danny, one of my patrons, very, very, very nice man. Crazy as a box of frogs, but he's lovely. He told his wife that he were going to the ABR festival and Itchy Boots were going to be there, and she said to him, "Don't you touch her with any part of your body." It made my bloody weekend, that did. And apparently he didn't touch you with any part of her body, so good on you, Dan. I'd love to see you do a full road test review on the new Husky Norden 901 Expedition, as you've clearly enjoyed and appreciated the delights of the Africa Twin and the 1050 V-Strom. Any chance? Yeah, most probably. I love the Norden 901. Really love that, actually. That was a great bike, and actually very, very good off-road. Really love it. So the Expedition is going to be even better. So I'll have to see if I can get my mitts on one. Thank you, Mr. Hinkley Hammer. Right, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to close that at that because I am tired and I want to go to bed. But yeah, folks, thank you very much. That's been what I've been doing. Hour and 50, and I think I'm going to condense that down a bit. I'm going to chop out a lot of the stuttering because, as you've seen, I do quite a lot of it. So yeah, when I'm doing my videos, I quite a lot say things and then say it again and then say it again because of me stuttering. But yeah, thanks very much for you indulging me with those questions. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a bit different. I'd like to do a live one, actually. You know, when we get this internet working properly, I'll try and organise a live one where I can chat to you all properly and do some live questions. But I've really enjoyed that, actually. I'm bloody cold and I want to go in and get a cup of tea and get the fire burning. Thank you very much for listening, all. Thank you very much for all your questions. It's been a pleasure. I hope you found it entertaining. Be good, be careful, be kind. I'll see you on another one sometime soon. That's a wrap. God damn it.